guys, Jen Loves Wrestling here. Hope you are having a great day. Happy Wednesday. And of course, we are going to talk about yesterday's NXT Great American Bash Show. But I am also going to start off this video covering what I feel was the highlights this past week in WWE from all 5 brands. And we are going to start with some news from the ladies of WWE. There was a lot going on for them this week. We had 2 big returns. One coming back from injury, which is Tegan Nox. One coming back to the company, which was Zelina Vega to SmackDown, Tegan to NXT, respectively. And I am way more excited about one of those returns than the other. But I'm going to let you guys guess which one. You can leave that in the comment section below. Let's have a little fun with that. So I also was really excited to see Amel from NXT UK stepping up to the newly crowned champion of NXT, the women's champion Meiko Satomura. I am a huge fan of Amel. I've been following her career for a little while now, even prior to NXT UK. I really enjoy her, and it's really good to see her, reaching out and grabbing her opportunity here. So hopefully that'll lead to a title match for her. Another person who I really want to see in the title scene, because she had only, one loss so far on this brand, and she is my favorite NXT UK female superstar, and she is Valkyrie, and she picked up a win on NXT UK, so hopefully getting back on that road to the title. I would love to see her in the mix as well. And another person who had a shining moment, in my opinion, over the past week was actually on Monday Night Raw, which is a long show and often does not come equipped with that many highlights, but Rhea Ripley did give us one. She definitely gave us one with her hilarious moment on the entrance ramp. For those that didn't see it, Rhea Ripley was kind of making fun of Charlotte Flair feigning an injury, so she came out and feigned one of her own, and she came out and did her whole entrance complete with the stomp. So she goes to do her stomp like she always does, and even did that when acted like she hurt her leg. It was really funny, and it was so I would recommend going back and watching that, because me explaining it isn't even doing it justice. It was really funny for Rhea, and it was also really nice to get to see this side of her. Rhea Ripley's character does not currently very often call for humor, so it was nice to see a different dimension in her. So I'm sure that was enjoyable for her as well to do all that. I think it went really well. It was really funny. So congratulations to Rhea for having a really cool and funny moment on Raw. Speaking of Raw, another thing I really actually enjoyed, one of my favorite parts lately of Raw in general, and one of probably, in my opinion, the best feud they actually have going right now, and one of the best stories, is Mansoor versus Ali. This has been going, for those of you who don't know, Ali has been trying to kind of take Mansoor under his wing and help him out, as he is still relatively new to Raw, and he doesn't want to see Mansoor fall into the pitfalls and traps and misfortunes that Ali has had to deal with in the past. He doesn't want to see him go down that same road. He wants better for him, or at least so he says. But they did have a match this past Monday, and Ali pulled out some, one could say, sneakery, trickery, little shady business going on. But also, in his defense, he was just trying to teach Mansoor another lesson. Don't take your eye off the ball. Do not fall for any shenanigans. And don't trust people. So, Ali continues with the victory and continues to teach Mansoor, how to handle himself, I guess, in the way that Ali feels is right. So, let's go on to 205. They are hosting the Breakout Tournament, and they had qualifying matches on this past week, which was good because, as we all know, and we talked about last video as well, 205 was unfortunately pretty much all but wiped clean due to the recent roster cuts. But they are featuring some new talent, the Breakout Tournament guys, and the opener is a match that I highly recommend going back and watching. This was one of the matches of the entire week, in my opinion. Absolutely loved it. New stuff. Andre Chase versus Guru Raj. And for this being both of their first matches on 205, the character development was amazing. You knew exactly who both these guys were. Andre did a great job with his character, as did Guru Raj. You were just able to identify immediately with what they were trying to go for, and in the ring, it also went well. Very impressed from both of these guys. Andre Chase picked up the victory here, so he will move on to the breakout tournament, and I am really excited, and I actually hope he goes far because he made a fan out of me in that match. I thought he was fantastic, so really excited to see what the future holds for him. The second match was Joe Gacy versus Desmond Troy, and it was a good match. I wouldn't say it was as good as the opener, nearly as good as the opener, honestly, but Joe Gacy picked up the win here, and I have seen better stuff from Desmond Troy in the past on NXT, which kind of begs the question if all of these guys, not all these guys, if a good portion of these guys are already signed to WWE, how much of a breakout tournament really is it? But I would have liked to see some more fresh faces, some more brand new people. But I guess it's whoever, even if they haven't been featured lately, whoever is going to break out of that. So I guess it still makes sense. It's just, I like it when I was more excited when it was people that I've never seen before. And this is my first look at them. Like the opener, and like I said, I highly recommend going back and checking out Andre Chase versus Guru Raj on last week's 205. Let's move on to NXT Great American Bash from last night. The opener, MSK, defended and retained their titles against Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher, which is actually just fine with me because, you know, Marcel still wants Timmy. Timmy, the door is still open. So, I am okay with this, with MSK retaining, because I would love it if Ciampa and Thatcher broke up, because Thatcher needs to be with this one. They need to be back together. Ringkampf, Imperium. Come on, let's seal that deal already, guys. I know we haven't talked about it in a while, but let's seal that deal. Tomorrow's Marcel's birthday. This would be great. Yeah, so MSK, though, I actually feel a little bad for them, though, because the crowd is so harsh on them. And I think it's, I'm going to tie this in with somebody else later in the video who I think is kind of going through the same problem. But for MSK, I genuinely believe, and this could just be my opinion, you can drop it in the comment section below and what you think is the problem. If you like MSK, if you're a fan, I think it's the characters. I think they're a little on the annoying side as characters. It can't be in the ring, because they're great in the ring. But there's definitely a disconnect with MSK and with the crowd. And I get that. I think there's a disconnect with MSK and myself as well. So I can understand where the NXT crowd is coming from. I think they are definitely a little too harsh on MSK, though. And not just this match. It's been going on for a little while. But let me know what you guys think of that. So, Johnny Gargano he came out, he hit the line of the night, in my opinion. Cross was saying that Johnny Gargano wears his wife's jeans, ha ha ha. And then Johnny just absolutely destroyed him by saying, "It's funny you mentioned my wife's jeans because you can't lace up her boots." And the funniest part of that, it's a hilarious line, but also, he's not wrong. So, Candice is an excellent wrestler, and I detect no lies in that statement. LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes. This was the match with Virgil Stipp in it. This was a fantastic match. I was really excited because I loved their ladder match, but also when you have two guys that talented, and I'm going to mention again later in the show, another match that had to do with this. The ladder match is fine. The gimmick matches, the stipulation matches, whatever, are fine. And this one also had, obviously, the Virgil stipulation, but it was a straight-up one-on-one contest, which benefits two guys as talented as LA Knight and Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes and both of these guys are incredible. LA Knight, megastar, in every sense of the word. You gotta watch every second he's in there. Everything he does, every movement is meaningful. He is so fantastic at what he does. I love, love, love both these guys. But LA Knight was the one that picked up the win. Again, a fantastic match, so I just enjoyed that part of it. I did enjoy Knight winning because with this stipulation, it does make things pretty interesting. So, Io Shirai and Zoe Stark versus Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. And Io Shirai and Zoe Stark are our new women's tag team champions in NXT. I thought this was too short of a reign for the ladies of the way, but it did make sense from what happened a few moments later, in a way. Pun intended, in a way. But I also have to say that I think their title reign was too short, but I also think that for me with Zoe and Io, it's kind of a weird team, and I know they like to mismatch teams in WWE, and it's a total Raw SmackDown thing to do. I feel very strongly that Zoe Stark is better as a singles competitor. Some people are better solo, some people are better in a tag team. It all depends what the benefit is, what exhibits their strengths, what hides their weaknesses, things like this. Zoe is just, to me, her past few matches are not as good as her first few matches in NXT. She really shines on her own. So I'm kind of disappointed with this outcome, to be honest with you, but that's also just selfishly, I'd like to see Zoe Stark back in the singles division, but I guess I'm going to have to wait because they are the new champions in the tag team division. So, but it's not all bad news for the way, especially Indy Hartwell, as Dexter Lumis was there to literally pick up the pieces and scoop up Indy in his big, strong, warm, affectionate arms and carry her away. And Index looks to have new life. So, we all love that. Hashtag Index. Gotta love it. Okay, so next is one of the highlights, in my opinion, of the entire night. I love Hit Row so much. This Hit Row North American title celebration was so much fun. I wish they would wrap their way to the ring every week, but I understand this was like a special attraction sort of thing. But the thing is, I'm not a huge fan of rap, honestly, but these guys are better than, I'd say 85-90% of rap out there nowadays. They literally sound so legit. They have a lot of charisma, great stage presence. They work really well as a group, and they all bring different styles to the table. B and Swerve and Top Dollar, they all sound vastly different in their rapping styles, but as a unit, it works really well together. And it's fun, it's energetic, it's just, there's real talent there. I know that Ashanti and Top Dollar have definitely made it known that they are looking to follow in Swerve's footsteps and attain some gold for themselves going after the tag team titles. I also think that they should get a Grammy after that performance, though. Great stuff from Hit Row. Our main event, Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. Here's the match I want to reference in regards to some things earlier in the card as well. To me, Kyle O'Reilly is suffering from the same problem MSK is having. Fantastic in the ring. As good as MSK are, and don't get me wrong, they are great in the ring. Kyle O'Reilly is great in the ring, okay? But the problem is the character. Kyle O'Reilly was more likable in the Undisputed Era. He was more natural. His humor was it seemed more off the cuff. It seemed more genuine and organic. And now it feels like we're getting this forced, I don't know, he looks like he's going to the beach. I like the colors, don't get me wrong, but it makes me want to go swimming whenever I see his gear. But it's just this cool vibe that's trying too hard, though. Kyle, you were cool before. You don't have to put it on so thick. And I think, again, that's why the crowd actually more gravitated towards Kyle O'Reilly. I don't think that the crowd sounded split to me. I think it was, if I'm being generous, 70-30 in Adam's favor. It might have been a little higher. But that crowd seemed pro-Adam, and you know what? I can't blame them. He's a fantastic wrestler. And he did pick up the win here, so they got what they wanted out of this one as opposed to the opener, as far as the crowd goes. Another thing that I wanted to reference earlier before we wrap this up, because we're going in that 15-minute territory there, is that I enjoyed that this was a straight-up match. I enjoyed this better than their previous match. Like I said, I mentioned this with Knight and Grimes, even though I loved both Knight and Grimes matches. With this one, it also benefited for just being a straight up one-on-one competition. And, okay, so that's all I got for you today. That covers NXT UK. I mean, NXT, well, we covered NXT UK. NXT Great American Bash. Before I take this video off the air, of course, I wanted to wish my favorite wrestler in the world a happy early birthday. Marcel Barthel's birthday is tomorrow. He will be 31 on July 8th. So, happy birthday, Marcel. Okay, so guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do leave your comments down below. We had a lot to cover, so I really am interested in your feedback. And I love you guys. I hope you like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I hope you have a great week. Love you. Mwah. Bye.